let's discuss this, Reese. You've posted some really powerful videos on social media about it. Carlee Russell. Carlee Russell, she has been found safe.
Yes.
Which I think is a good thing, right?
That's
I think is a good thing.
But we won't let that happen.
That's what I thought when you're, being prayed up and everything and you're hoping for the best. Regardless of what happened, I believe that that's a good thing. There has been a monsoon of comedy on her experience, on what she went through or what she is going through on social media. They are throwing Jussie Smollett into it, which I still want to add to people. I get it. I get why folks feel the way about Jussie, but that's still pending. And for me,
stick beside him.
If anything is pending with the Chicago PD, I'm going to let it pen. Right. That's just me. What do I know? Chicago PD, what do I know?
Hello.
But they're comparing it to Jussie. And then I've heard, and this is the same thing I heard about Jussie, that whatever, we don't know what happened. We don't know. But if Carlee Russell wasn't abducted by somebody, that it makes it harder for Black women to be believed.
Come on.
Y'all are putting that on Carlee Russell? Really? Whatever she did or didn't do, Black women already aren't believed.
Hello, can you speak on that?
Black women have been ignored for centuries, for decades. They didn't even believe Serena Williams when she said she was in pain during her pregnancy. You think a woman, regardless of what happened, she's making it harder on Black women? You think Black women were going to be more believed if this didn't happen?
Right.
What exactly is wrong with people? Or maybe you're just showing your cards that much that you really don't value Black women. And these are some folks within us, Reese.
Oh, yeah. A lot of Black
women
are saying stuff. Yeah.
And it was the same thing with Jussie. Oh, well, now Black LGBT folks aren't going to be believed. Do you know how much violence Black LGBT folks experience? You think Jussie, a pop star, an actor, has any impact on that? You think Carlee Russell, whatever she's going through, even if she wasn't abducted, she obviously is having a mental health crisis. We don't know what it is. We don't know. But whatever you think it is, she was missing for 2 days.
Right.
And now y'all want to, it just, wow, what a difference a day makes.
Hello.
And how come when white folks lie, nobody questions, oh, white folks aren't going to be believed anymore?
Right.
Can I remind y'all of Susan Smith, who drowned her 2 children, blamed it on a Black man? Can I remind y'all of my exonerated episode yesterday? When a white woman said she was raped and the Black man had a body odor? And they locked up the wrong guy for 9 years? And this was, and come to find out she was never assaulted? According to, exactly. And she had accused folks of rape. But come on now. Come on. This is ridiculous. It's offensive. It's disgusting. And I was just, it just makes me just lose my faith in humanity a little bit. Like, really? It's so hurtful to see. You could see the pain that her parents are going through.
Right.
This isn't a Lifetime movie. Her parents are obviously hurt. I just say, give the sister some grace. And even if you're on social media, and even if you're right, even if it was a complete lie, even if she was obviously going through some kind of crisis, and for that, I will give her grace. So it was just, and then folks were clapping back at you, Reese, like, oh, you're going to backtrack now? What is there to backtrack on? You didn't say you were a part of the search party. You didn't say you were part of, like, what is there to backtrack on?
Hello.
A black woman is missing. What would you rather not? So would you rather, when a black woman is missing, for us to ignore it like we normally do?
Hello.
For it to get no media coverage, like happens in Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
in Philly? What about all the Native American women who go missing? No one talks about it. So if you talk about one and she's found, we'll never talk about it again.
Right.
Because of Carlee Russell. Go ahead, Reese.
Yeah, give me a fucking break. Okay. Y'all found y'all the thing about it that is so unhinged to me is this was a woman that nobody widely, I'm not talking about her family and friends, but she was not a national figure. People didn't know who she was before Friday, before she was missing. And yeah, people are so invested in being Inspector Gadget and being the FBI, CIA, and trying to pick apart and piece together shit because they're bored about what really happened. And now people are so invested in talking about accountability. Who the fuck are you to say that somebody should be accountable to you? Your children should be accountable to you. Your partner should be accountable to you. Maybe your company. Like, I can think of people who should be accountable to you. Your healthcare providers. A stranger that you didn't even know fucking existed on Friday does not owe you accountability. I'm sorry. She did not ask to become a story. Now, I don't know all the details. I know what the police are saying. Police lie. I'm not saying that they're lying, but I'm just saying I don't know. I haven't heard from her, and I don't have to hear from her. Because when a person is missing, the why does not change the fact that we want them brought home, unless you don't really want them brought home. Okay, there are people that go missing and they're not abducted. There are people that go missing because they have a mental break. There are people that go missing because maybe they have dementia or something like that. There are all sorts of reasons. They might have just got turned around. They might have just got confused. They might have ran out of gas. They might have, whatever the situation may be, phone dead, ain't no gas, whatever. And in many cases, people come back. In some cases, they never come back. But the reality is there isn't only one justifiable reason to look for a person. There isn't only one justifiable reason to share a retweet. That's all y'all was doing. Share a retweet and say, hey, somebody's missing. Y'all know where homegirl's at. There's what does that cost anybody? That costs you nothing. And so I just think we just live in a society where people feel very much entitled to know things that are really none of their business. That's what I said. I said, just mind your business. Give her the privacy. She doesn't owe you an explanation. If she gives it, cool. If you're that concerned, talk to the police. Y'all got the information that you needed from the police, did you not? Okay, so then move on. Move on, because while everybody's so focused on that, yesterday, news came out from Florida that they trying to rewrite Black history, talking about Black people, that there was violence against and by African Americans when talking about enslaved people. But I didn't hear that go viral on the goddamn Shade Room, Neighborhood Talk, Hollywood Unlocked, none of that shit. Y'all wasn't talking about that. Y'all was too busy making memes about Carlee Russell. So y'all want to talk about accountability? Well, let's talk about accountability of not making a mockery of a person. I know everything is the key all the time on the radio, but y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all want to sit up there and like those and kiki or whatever. It's real life. And to your point about humanity, I think we've lost the plot, okay, on humanity, right? And the last thing I want to say is that there's no precipitating force on an individual level for why systemically and why historically Black women have been devalued, have been attacked, murdered, assaulted at a disproportionate rate. That's not an individual force. That is the way that society has ingrained throughout people of all races, including some Black people, in all genders, that Black women's bodies don't have values. And you would be correct in saying Black men don't have value as well to society, but we're talking about a Black woman in this case. So I'm just keeping it on topic.
Yeah.
The notion that people want to always convince Black women, and they don't try to convince any other race of this, but they always want to convince Black women, well, but for you doing X, Y, and Z, and it's always fucking arbitrary. But for you wearing a wig, but for you having long ass eyelashes, but for you twerking, but for you having your ass cheeks out, but for you yada motherfucking yada yada yada, then y'all wouldn't be getting killed. Y'all wouldn't be getting raped. Y'all wouldn't get assaulted. And that's bullshit because we have been getting all of those things since the beginning of the time, since we came over here on fucking slave ships. Okay. So no, it's not that, there's no now situation unless you're talking about legislation. If you're talking about a bill that's passed, then there's a now. If you're talking about some random black motherfucker in the universe did something that made it to the news that people don't like, now what? Now nothing. Go on about your fucking business. So if we want to talk about, and I feel like I'm a broken record because I said this shit about the twerking and the hair shit. If we're talking about the now, we need to be having a discussion about people in power, like what the grift is talking about. We need to be having a discussion about legislation. We need to be having a discussion about judges, prosecutors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Not individual actions of people who do not have power. That's the last thing I want to say. Because I hate every fucking time. That's why, nothing. That's how it's always been. Talk to me when shit gets better, and then somebody does something, and it's like, oh, well, now we lost it. And then we can have that conversation. And can I also say, like, I'm sorry, I know I've said a lot of unpopular opinions on the topic, but I'm gonna give it even more unpopular opinion. If she lied and she was never in danger, good. There's enough violence against Black women in this country.
Yeah.
On every second, as we're talking, there's some act of violence being inflicted on a Black woman in this country. Okay, so it's one less Black woman that's been subjected to that. Good. That's not a bad news story for me. Okay, that's just me. So I don't have a problem with the fact that, or the possibility that she wasn't violently kidnapped. Good. I really, if it's a misunderstanding, if it's maybe ill-advised, a cry for help, whatever, good.
Right. Yeah,
there's enough violence to feed our appetites for Black trauma. Y'all don't see the fucking tweets every day, videos every day. Black woman beat, Black woman this, Black man beat, Black man this. Y'all don't see that shit every day. Y'all got an even bigger appetite that a person that you just found out existed has to have had violence and trauma inflicted upon it for it to have been worth your time to retweet their story. And if not, well, I'm disappointed. I'm mad. I got to hold them accountable. For what? You didn't do shit. Let me ask you, are you the kind of motherfucker, which I doubt, that at the grocery store when they had, I don't even know if they still do it anymore because I don't go to the grocery store, but back in the day, they used to have all the pictures of the missing kids. When you go to the grocery store, they had a bulletin board. How often do you stop at that bulletin board and study the faces of those people? How many of y'all went on blackandmissing.com and did a search and say, well, let me see who's missing in my state. Let's see who's missing in my area. Maybe I might know some of these people. Maybe I might see these people. How many of y'all hop your ass in the car when there's an Amber Alert and there's a car that's been on the Amber Alert? Well, let me look for this Toyota license plate R5768910 and see if I can find a little baby. None of y'all, or 0.1%. Because if everybody was doing that, then we wouldn't have all these damn missing people. So the fact that people want to make it seem like they are so supportive and so engaged in finding missing people, and now their trust and their faith and their interest has been violated. Get the fuck out of here. She was missing according to her family. Her family didn't know where she was at, and now she's found. That's the end of the story for me. I didn't know her before. I don't have a personal connection with her before. The more traumatizing thing that happened to me was I couldn't get my goddamn bacon cheese fries yesterday. That was my trauma from yesterday, okay? Not, oh my God, I can't believe I retweeted Carlee Russell on Friday and now I'm finding out that she was searching for X, Y, and Z. That did not move the needle for me yesterday. If it moved the needle for you, then I don't know, maybe you need some more business to get instead of worried about this woman.